in my mind, I'm like, this poor white woman is chugging Florida water. Like, this is cologne. This woman is chugging cologne. Like, that's insane to me.
Mental health problems and maladaptive behaviors, like under the guise of like, you just haven't had the realizations that I have, or like we're just on different spiritual journeys. Have you considered that you're using this spiritual awakening as an excuse to be a huge dick?
Now, I debated making this video so early on in my YouTube journey, but some things have been brought to my eyeballs that I cannot ignore. I can't ignore it, so I need to talk about it with someone. And currently, oh my god, sorry, work text. I gotta get some things off my chest, and I don't have anyone else to talk to at the current moment. I don't have any friends right now, so.
Please don't cry like that. Please don't, Brennan.
Welcome. Enjoy listening to me rant for God knows how long. I have notes on my phone, and I have my snacks, so let's do this, y'all.
This new age of spirituality is like so toxic, and we need to talk about it.
Dangers of New Age spirituality.
Here is why I left the New Age.
Okay, so loads of people are still not getting it. So I'm going to show you what spiritual psychosis looks like.
I know we're talking about the spiritual community today. I know we're talking about the not so fun side of things, but I am a very spiritual and intuitive person myself, so I really don't want people to hate on each other. Like, if you're commenting down below, like, I really want it to be positive, but I just really want to have a real conversation because there is a lot of toxic things happening. And especially nowadays, I feel like you look around every corner and everyone is calling themselves a high priestess, grandmaster, shaman, guru, and I'm just like, you? I mean, no offense, but like, are you sure? Are you positive? I know a lot more people nowadays are having spiritual awakenings, which is great, you know, whether that be naturally or unnaturally. I don't want to say unnaturally. Maybe I'll say encouraged, assisted awakenings. Yeah. But in general, more people are having spiritual awakenings nowadays. And it's like, you know, I get that. I understand it. That's amazing. But just because you are having this great big spiritual awakening does not mean you hold the key and knowledge of life, that you just know everything right away automatically. And I feel like people do tend to do this a lot. They start to get into this like, oh, like, my mind is open now, like I see the world, and now I have to show everyone, I have to help everyone, I have to heal everyone. And it's like, oh, okay, hold up, baby, slow down, because now that you've had this grand awakening, you need to show yourself the right way, heal yourself first, because who are you trying to help all these other people and you got all these skeletons in your backyard? Like, and then people feel the need to charge others like astronomical amounts of money to help show them the right way. And it's like, babe, do you know the right way? Like, do you actually? Because you just became a grandmaster, high priestess, shaman, guru like a month ago. Like, some of y'all, it's really giving cult, okay? Like, serious cult leader. The more and more I see discourse online within the spiritual community, the more gaslighting and judging and just overall people thinking that they are better than others. There's so many people who think that their way is the right way and the only way. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about people who come from very specific cultural backgrounds, lineages, okay? Very historical cultural practices. Like, I get that. I understand, like, religion and all of that. That's very different. Those things have rules. Those things have traditions. I'm talking more so about the new age people, and a lot of them have, like, very I can't say it. Manipulative? Yes, there you go. Manipulative tactics. You know, whether people doing it on purpose, I don't think it's necessarily people doing it on purpose, but it can be very manipulative. Like, no, the way you're doing it is wrong. The way I'm doing it is right, and you need to do it that way. Like, calm down. Calm down, please. And I need any and all of you to hear this. Please, listen. Listen very clearly. If anyone is trying to get you to leave your friends, family, or I can't do that. Okay. Friends, family, or bank account moolah behind, okay? Because you need to be following the right path, their path, with their group, even. Cult. It's a cult. They are a cult. Okay, I'm sorry. Point blank period. Cult. Written all over it. Cult. Do not abandon your friend's family or, I'm sorry, bank account. Do not abandon your bank account for trying to follow the right spiritual way. So messed up. You got me so messed up. Like, audacity. And then those people want to take all your money too. They don't even say, oh, leave it all behind. They say, no, give it all to me. Give me all your money.
My Namafer is Shikar, and I am a qualifier of the collective. I just wanted to assure you that this is the furthest thing from a cult. We are an organism that has decided to move in unison with the sun.
Please, you guys, do not leave it all behind just for a spiritual journey like that. Like, please don't. And it's always some weird looking person, some weird looking dude. Like, and I'm not one to shame looks. I'm really not. But they always do. They always look a little weird, a little off. Just a little bit. If anyone is pressuring you into giving them money for a service or item that you did not ask for, but they said,
The spirit said that you need this item or service, and if you don't do it, the spirits are gonna get angry with you.
it's a scam. I promise you guys, it is a scam. Because, I mean, why do spirits need you to give this person specifically money for something you did not ask for and did not seek out? Like, it's a scam. And it's sad because a lot of people that I've heard do kind of do this. Well, not a lot, but some people actually do have like intuitive or psychic abilities. It's just they kind of don't use it for the best things. Like, they have negative intentions behind it, and I don't know, to me that's kind of sad. But yes, something like that would be a scam. Don't let people scare you into giving them money. So I know there are a lot of people who are just as chronically online as I am. Excuse me, oh my god. I'm always on the internet, and like, I'm sure a lot of you also see, there are a lot of these spiritual, intuitive, witchy influencer type folks, and they usually have very, very aesthetic and beautiful setups. Like, their homes are beautiful, the items they have are beautiful and expensive, and a lot of these people, because they are influencers, they do have like partnerships, ads they do, which I don't knock, you know, get your bag, do you. But something I have been starting to see is some of these individuals will start pushing things onto folks so far as to be like, if you're not using this, if you don't have this for your practice, you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? If you don't have this expensive $300 crystal, $200 crystal, then whatever you're doing is not gonna work, and you're doing it wrong, and you're not gonna be able to manifest, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I feel like they're kind of, I don't know, it creates this weird thing where it's like, I can't afford a $300 crystal, and so I start to feel bad. It's like, dang, maybe I can't afford to be where I want to be spiritually, and that's just not the truth. I don't like where that leads to. I don't think you should ever put like a price divide between like somebody being able to do something, especially spiritually. I think we really need to step back and ask ourselves, like, would my guides really be mad that like I don't have the most beautiful, luxurious looking room, that I don't have this $300 crystal? Like, I think the real questions are Are you healing yourself? You know, are you working on yourself? Are you making yourself a better you? It also really promotes over consumerism and FOMO. It really plays on people's FOMO. We here out west, we got real bad FOMO, and that is just the honest truth. Like, we have such bad FOMO, and you know, a lot of influencers do know that. Like, you know, it just is what it is. You know, it's always gonna kind of be like that, I feel like. But I don't think you should ever tell somebody how they're practicing, or just because they don't have something that is very expensive that you have, that just because they don't have it, they're not doing something right. I don't feel like that's right. I don't know if that made sense. I hope it did. Yeah, and that kind of ties in to like the whole overconsumption and all of that. We unfortunately live in a very, very, very capitalistic society. And unfortunately, the spiritual evolution has become super swept up in that. And as the popularity of being spiritual grows, as it becomes more common, the more profitable it becomes. I think it's just natural with the way things are, you know what I mean? Especially New Age spirituality is very, very profitable for a lot of big businesses. For small businesses too, but for a lot of big businesses, it's very profitable. You know, there's people out there selling $200 crystals and they only bought it $40 at wholesale. I personally, I don't really like stuff like that. I don't like the fact that everything is so overpriced and so like marked up heavily. But I also get it, you know, we do, like I just said, we live in a capitalistic society. So, you know, we have to pay the bills, people have to eat. But I do think we really have to ask ourselves, when does it become too much? You know what I mean? When are we taxing, like the kids say? You know what I mean?
How do I do the filter, the picture?
I don't even know if I use that in the right context. Ooh. But capitalism and spirituality, New Age spirituality, they working together. Real fluid. And some people are really milking that cow hard, let me tell y'all. Because I'm gonna be real, I really do think a lot of things are very overpriced. I think there's a lot of things overpriced, and I think some of y'all charging these prices out here being a little bit delusional, being a little bit too delusional.
I've always been delusional, yes.
Picture this, right? Just try to put yourself in this mindset. Okay, imagine you have a website, right? And you sell spiritual little tchotchkes or whatever. Let's say it's a bracelet. You're selling a bracelet, right? We'll do a bracelet. Bracelet's easy, simple. You have in your description, well, let's say on your website, you sell handmade goods from different businesses across the world, you know what I mean? Or different groups. You're selling this bracelet, it's $100. You're selling it for $100. Came straight from the Amazon, right? It was hand woven, handcrafted, handmade, blessed by this Amazonian tribal chief in somewhere in the Amazon. Okay? When really, you went on to Alibaba at 2 a.m. looking for cute little bracelets that you can sell people. You find something, 50 cents. That's cheap. Okay, we'll get those. So now look at this. You bought 50-cent bracelets and are reselling them for $100 under false pretenses. And you know who touched those bracelets? Not no Amazonian tribal chief, okay? It was the little teeny tiny children at the factory, okay? Making 5 cents an hour. That's who touched that bracelet. And you over here lying to people. That's not right. And that right there is a great example of what is going on. Like, a lot of that stuff is happening, you guys. So much of it is happening. It is very scary. It really is. And it's not right either. Here's another scenario that I also think is just as messed up. Let's say you are paying $300 for, I don't know, an astrology reading. Here we go, a service. Let's say you're paying $300 for an astrology reading, right? Little did you know Because maybe, I don't know, you follow this person on Instagram or TikTok and they're super popular. Little do you know that they've only been, I don't know, practicing for maybe 6 months. 6 months maybe. And they still have to look at things in a book, you guys. Still look at things in a book.
Sorry, I know I look like a literal toe right now, but I'm editing my video and I just wanted to come on here real quick and clarify that I don't think it's bad to use books in astrology at all. Astrology is a study, and I'm never going to think it's wrong to use books for study, but what I mean specifically is using very basic astrology books during a reading, especially if you're charging $300 for it. I think it's a little ridiculous. Just like very basic book that covers, like, you know, the signs' meanings, the houses, square, opposition, conjunction, trine. I think if you're using that during a reading and you're charging $300, you need to rethink your prices.
$300? No. Especially if they don't, they literally cannot tell you what each zodiac sign means or what house means. Like, what? What are we doing here? Why are you charging $300? Like, let's be real, 6 months, you should be charging, probably, and you still have to read a book. On the generous side, I'm gonna be so generous. On the very generous side, you should be charging $50. Still reading a book, generous amount, $50. There you go. For anybody who has spent like way too much money on an astrology reading and got duped, I promise you're not the only one. When I was a kid, I got scammed by this lady, right? I didn't know I got scammed, but I mentioned popular on social media because there was this lady I was following on Instagram, super, super popular. And I'm just like, all right, cool, she knows what she's doing. I had been following her for maybe like 2 years, I think. I don't know. She looked like she looked like she knew what she was talking about. And I was like, what, like 17? So I was just like, yeah, she knows. Like, I want a reading. So I paid, how much did I pay? I paid like $400 for a reading from her.
Yeah, realistically, I think I probably paid like $500-600. I wish I had only paid $300 for it. That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
And she literally had a book open the whole time, reading the definitions off the book as we went along in the reading. And I was just like, I was still so amazed because I didn't know anything about astrology. Like, I study it a lot now. I'm a very big astrology girl now. But I didn't know anything about astrology. So I was just like, oh my god, like, this is amazing. Like, wow, she knows all this stuff. And like, now that I study it, I'm like, wow, I got scammed so badly. I got scammed so badly, you guys. I cannot believe I paid $300 for this woman to read out of a book and tell me the definitions from the book word for word. Literally, that's like what the whole reading was. So, yeah. At the end of the day, not all spiritual folks are made equally, y'all. There are a lot of scammers out there. And I also think there are a lot of scammers out there who don't know they're scamming. I know that sounds weird, but I do genuinely think there are people who mean well, who just don't know that they are being completely delusional and out of their depth. And I think that is very true too. You know, I think there's good delusion and bad delusion. And people, they teeter that line real often, and I think in the spiritual community there can be a lot of bad delusion. Definitely a lot of bad delusion. Definitely though, I will say, make sure you do your research coming from me so you guys don't get scammed like I did. Make sure you do your research, please. Yeah, just because someone's popular on social media does not mean they're good at anything. Not that she was bad at everything. You know what I'm trying to say.
I meant exactly what I was trying to say, okay? Just because someone is popular on social media does not mean they're good at anything.
Okay, before I move on, I remember this little story and I want to tell you guys about it. It's a little bit of a tangent. Back when I had my business, when I was a teenager, I had a small spiritual shop, or a little spiritual business. I used to do like vendor shows and stuff like that, so I'd have my little booth and everything. And I didn't go to a lot of vendor show, but I enjoyed going to vendor show because I enjoyed like interacting with people and just meeting different people all the time. And I remember this one show in particular because I met this lady, and well, I also remember it because it was freezing cold. It was so cold this day. How cold it was that day, and this lady made it so memorable. Let me tell y'all. I remember I could not feel my toes. It was that cold, like genuinely. It was so cold to the point, like if you threw a boiling, like you know how people throw like the boiling hot water in the air and it's just like, yeah, it was cold like that. It was super cold. But you know what? I was not about to let a little bit of cold weather stop me from getting a bag that day. That's for sure. So, I'm at this vendor show. I'm cold as I don't know what, okay? I'm freezing my little nuggies off. I'm showing people my candles and the crystals and all that stuff. And I meet this lady, super nice, super sweet lady. And she was telling me about how, like, you know, she was a shaman and all of that. And she, like, you know, helps people on their healing journey. And, you know, she was going on and on and on and on. And she was so sweet, you guys. But I'm not gonna lie, I did not care one single bit about what this lady was saying. I was so cold. I just remember being so cold, and I just remember kept thinking, this lady just is still talking. Okay, that's fine. But you know, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, she's gonna buy something. She didn't, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. She was talking and talking, and I was just like, please buy something, please, God. So bad. That sounds so terrible. Cause she was genuinely so nice. It's just, I was cold. I remember she was talking, and then all of a sudden, I had like a few bottles of Florida water, and it caught her eye. I saw her looking at it, and she was like, oh. And you know, because we were talking about like the different crystals I had at my table and my candles and how I made them and all that stuff. All the jewelry I had made myself. I made a lot of stuff. Honestly, I do miss my old business. I miss it a lot sometimes. It was a lot of fun. Getting distracted. Okay, anywho. She saw the Florida water and basically was just like, oh, like, I used to use this one all the time, but I really didn't like the way it tastes, so I make my own now. And I was just like, what do you mean you don't like the way it tastes? I was thinking that. I was so shy back then. I was not about to ask her to elaborate. I was so shy. I was like, oh wow. I think I just was like, oh wow. Oh, that's so cool. Cause she told me, she's like, yeah, I make my own recipe now. And she's like, I would love to share it with you. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Like I would love that. That'd be great. And then I'm just thinking like, what does she mean, the taste? And then she proceeded to elaborate, thankfully. She was just like, yeah, you know, the one I make now, it's just like, the taste of it is way nicer. Like, I don't know, it's just like, the flavor is a lot better than the flavor the one that I had than the flavor of this one. And I proceeded to still have so many questions. And I'm just like, what is this one, like, I'm confused, y'all. Like, in my mind, I'm like, this poor white woman is chugging Florida water. Like, this is cologne. This woman is chugging cologne. Like, that's insane to me. And I know that probably was not the case. Okay, she did say she was a shaman, so I don't know. Maybe it was part of some, like, ceremony, like, where, like, they spit it out. I don't know. Because I know that is a thing where, like, because I've seen it in videos where people like drink it and spit it out. But in my head, I'm like, this poor lady is chugging cologne. Like, this is not okay. And she's trying to get me to chug cologne too. That's why she wants to give me her recipe. And honestly, after she left, I really thought, I wonder what it does taste like. Guys, do not drink Florida water. Do not drink cologne. I did not. But the thought definitely crossed my mind. I wish I had asked her. Honestly, I so wish I could go back and ask her, like, oh, why do you put it? Why do you drink it? Why do you put it in your belt? And so, where was I going with that story? I don't even remember. Oh, I wanted to tie it back into make sure you do research, please. Please do research before you just listen blindly to people and just follow them. Even though she did not tell me to drink the Florida water. She didn't tell me to. But her talking about the flavor definitely had me wondering, should I just take a little swig, a little sip? No, don't drink cologne. So yes, I just wanted to say, do your research, guys. Make sure you're looking things up. Don't follow anybody blindly, please. Please, I beg of you. Yeah. There is this huge misconception that everyone in the spiritual community is love and light. And I'm sorry, babe, but that is just not the truth, because I know for a fact there are so many people out there who will smile in your face and curse you the absolute worst behind your back, say the absolute worst things behind your back. Spiritual people, very, very spiritual people. It's not all love and light, babe. It's just not. People are very, very nuanced, you know? It's not always happy. It's not always positive. Things in life aren't always happy and aren't always positive. That's just not the human experience. I feel it's not the human experience. Also, have you ever met a person who just never feels like angry, sad, unhappy, irritated, mad? Like, have you ever met somebody who's just happy all the time?
Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello.
If I met someone who was like that, genuinely, I don't think I would trust that person. Like, they don't feel any other emotion besides like happy and smiles. No, something's up here. Something's going on in the situation, okay? Maybe it's just because I am a very, very Cancerian woman. I have a lot of Cancer placements in my astrology birth chart, okay? I have a lot of Cancer placements, so I feel the full range of emotions, you know? I can be happy, positive, cheery, like ha ha, hee hee, but I can also be a giant sometimes, you know? And that's just the truth. It's just the honest truth. I know I can be. And I don't know if I should say that. But like, I don't know, I'm a person, you know? I'm a spiritual person, but I'm a person. I'm just a girl. I'm just a woman with emotions and feelings. What can I say? Like I was saying, it's not always love and light, you know? Sometimes people do not have the best intentions. And I think, you know, with being spiritual, for those who aren't, they tend to put us who are on a pedestal, which I don't understand, because we're not better than them. Nobody's better than anybody, you know? We're all people. We all feel similar emotions. I personally feel no one person is better than the other, you know? We're all very nuanced. And at the end of the day, we all poop, we all pee, we all sneeze, we all fart. Everybody, every person, every human, I think. Well, folks, I did not realize that this video would barely even scratch the surface of the amount of things I actually wanted to talk about. So I think I might have to make 1 or 2 more parts to this, just because I don't want this video to be too long. It's my first one, so I filmed so much, but I don't know how much it's gonna like really get cut down to. I just don't want it to be too long, so I might have to break it up into 1 or 2 more parts. I'm not sure, because there are some topics I want to talk about. I just don't know. I don't know how well we'll do on YouTube, and I don't know if people actually be interested. I'll probably make at least 1 more part anyways, just because, you know, it is actually a pretty interesting topic to me. And, you know, I'm a big spiritual girly, so I like anything that has to do with the community. Don't forget to comment down below. I am going to try to reply back to everyone's comments, just because I really do want to have discussion about this. You know, I find anything revolving around spirituality so interesting. It's a topic that it's so vast and so large. Like, I could probably make so many videos about so many different areas and facets. But comment down below, because I like to talk about the culture. even the messy, toxic sides of it. So yeah. In every video, I'm going to be linking 1 to 2 humanitarian organizations that we can all donate to and or just spread awareness about in general. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to be linking for this video, but we will find out right now.
Alrighty, today I'm going to be linking Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders is an amazing humanitarian organization that pretty much helps anywhere and everywhere all over the world with medical needs. They will go to any country that allows them, I'm pretty sure, anywhere with severe needs. They are operating, I believe, currently in about 70 different countries. They will go regardless of politics, race, religion, any of that. And a lot of times they do tend to be the people who are on the front lines helping out with outbreaks, disasters, different types of conflicts, anything like that. Like, as long as there's a medical need, like, they're there.
That took so long to film. And I didn't even get to eat my snacks, really. I don't know why I thought I could talk a bunch and then also eat snacks. Like, I don't know where the logic was in that. I gotta make sure I look at the camera and not the viewfinder.